We are back live on the Ilfl Soccer Night Show. Good evening. We're going to talk about the Veterans League now, and in particular the Challenge Cup quarter-final games that took place last Monday and Thursday. Yes, there was a game last Monday, and we spoke about it in the show. Going to tell you what happened there in a little while. But there are also games that happened on the Thursday. And before I talk about all of them, I'm just going to pick out one in particular, which is the first part of a little head-to-head between two teams, those two teams, namely Hawk and Eagle Vets and Beaumont Masters. And this time round, I was just about to say, this time round, it was respectively the B side. Thank you very much for jumping in. It was a 0-0 game, but Beaumont Masters, the B side, won it on penalties. And why I wanted to pick that game out in particular is because I want to talk about your B side just very, very quickly. I know at the beginning of the season, your A side are the priority, perhaps. The B side are there for developing emerging players and those that, maybe are not ready for the A side. But this is a real coup for the B team.
It's a brilliant team. We were happy with the draw itself when we saw it's Hawk and Eagle. I know Nano is not here today, but we did have a little banter between us.
Of course.
It was a brilliant game. And although he's not here, I'm not being biased, we did have majority possession, majority chances.
I'm sure
he'll agree at home.
Nano, I know you're screaming at the TV
once it comes
right
to
now.
penalties,
It's okay.
Once it comes to penalties, obviously it's down to the keepers. If they can make 1 or 2 saves, it makes all the difference. So we're ecstatic. As you said, the A team is the priority. B team is just to get the game time and just play and enjoy. So for us to be in the semi-final of the Cup is a brilliant achievement, and we're looking forward to it this Thursday.
Riverside beat the Sire Vets by a 1-0 in last Monday's quarter-final game. Revive and London Tigers, the B side for the London Tigers Vets, played that 5-goal thriller, and Tigers won it by 3-2. And then yourselves and Elite played out a 0-0 draw, but then what happened with the penalties?
Well, when it comes to the penalty,
it's a lottery.
It is a kind of, and I must have mentioned about Russell, our keeper. He's a fine recruit, and the latest recruit is Ashad by is brilliant. But when it's, I think they came with a target to take it to the penalty shootout, and they were succeeded. We should have the game, but anyway, if you can't score, you can't complain. But we have the position. I would say at least 70% position was there, but we just couldn't finish. We just couldn't finish the goal line. As I said, when you went to penalty, they had a nice, fantastic keeper, and we had 2, but luck was on their side. And it was sudden death, and they just got congratulations to them. That's what I can say.
Let me ask this because I have to ask. Was there a little bit of complacency, do you think, from your side? I mean, you were divisional champions. You were up against a team who, even here on this show last Monday, you were expected to win. Does that kind of pressure manifest itself amongst the players?
We know early, but we didn't actually take it lightly. We wasn't been complacent, but I think it's on the day we just couldn't perform.
Do you think that was the pressure of being First Division champions? Do you think it was because of the expectation, or it just wasn't there on the day?
I think, including us, everyone has the expectation that we're going to just clinch it. But yes, there is a pressure, obviously. We have to win the February, and we have to win. But as I said, they came with the plan. They're going to take it up to the penalty.
I'll agree with that, but I think Elite tactically got it right.
Yeah.
They knew their strengths and weaknesses. They knew if they tried to play Weavers, they ain't going to win. So I even saw the match myself. Yes, Weavers dominate possession, had the more chances, but Elite were tactically, they got it right. The management knew if you sit back, hold them back. They played 3-3. There was no strikers. There was no need for it. And I'm hoping in the counter they can do something. They had 1 or 2 half-decent chances, but overall the plan was to just hold back Weavers, not let them play, disrupt the play. And
is this becoming, sorry to cut you in, but is this becoming a growing tactic within the small-sided game, where some teams who may feel that they don't have the ability, have nothing to lose, let's just sit back, soak it up and try and play for a 0-0?
Well, sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to do that. When a smaller team plays a big team or established or a team like Weavers or other big Premiership clubs, and if you're a smaller club, if you know you can't beat them technically, then you have to tactically get it right. So it's not defensive by holding back, hoping on the counter, hoping for a little magic from one of the players. It may work. So it depends on individuals and the squad they have to tactically get it right. So I think Elite did what they needed to do, and they're hoping that on the break, on the counter, to get a chance and snatch a win. Really, they knew if they play open game like we see in the Premiership, then it's going to be tough because not all teams have the players that fit for 40 minutes they'll be running around. And they don't have all technical players, etc. Every team has 1 or 2 technical players, and majority we are vets at the end of the day. They're not going to be all running for 40 minutes on 100 miles an hour. So I think credit goes to Elite for the tactics they use to frustrate Weavers, and obviously they knew the keeper they had, and I know he's one of our keepers actually, Shuman. He's a brilliant keeper. He's done miracle work on Sunday as well. So he knew they had faith in him. So if he went worst case scenario went to penalties, then they were confident. But with cup games, we can't underestimate team. It doesn't matter how big the teams are. We saw Sire and Weavers in the final. That was not the prediction at the beginning of the season. We had Stepneys, we had Beaumont, we had Tigers. They were nowhere near it. So cup games, hunger, passion, tactically, Elite got it right. So credit has to go to Elite management for frustrating Weavers. And they had a couple of half decent chances, but I think Weavers should be kicking themselves. They should have had more push or drive on the day to break down Elite, no matter how good they were defensively. The onus was on them to put pressure on Elite, not the other way around.
True. Abdul Mukift, you are, like I said, Director, Chairman. You heard me speak about pressure and expectation. What's the expectation for Weavers in the Premier Division next time round?
Hopefully to do well.
What is doing well? Is doing well staying in the Premier Division?
No staying, no winning. Being champions.
That's what we like to hear.
Being
That's the
champions.
confidence we're looking for. Yes. So Weavers are now looking to. Do you feel you can?
No,
like we heard, you've got a big squad, so
yes.
you have the capability.
Yes, sure, we'll go all the way. Maybe treble next season. Yeah.
Now is that the pressure being put on you, Shurjo?
Well, in a way, he is, isn't he? But as I said,
on you or on your players?
Both, everyone. It's not only me. I think everyone, players on the pitch, they have to demonstrate on the pitch. I can't do any much from the sideline. They have to demonstrate on the pitch. But as I said, we got really talented individual, and in the management, I must admit, I think by one of our senior players, he's not here. He was supposed to be here, but because of the emergency, he had to flee back home. And Mahid Bhai, I think we got a strong management and strong in terms of player side as well. So yeah, I think we should look forward to clinch the title in the Premiership. We can afford to, and we got that talent, and I think we can do it.
Looking forward to a strong Premier Division in the Vets League next time round. VL7 is not very far away. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the third section of the show. There were Premier Division games that took part in the Vets League. I don't know if we can see these on the screen right now, but I'll read them to you if you can't. The Beaumont Masters beat the Sire Vets by a goal to nil. London Tigers almost surprisingly went down by a goal to nil to the Abahani Vets. Tigers had the opportunity to clinch the Premier Division title, but it wasn't to be. And because of that, Stepney Legends beating St Catherine's by 3 goals to 1 puts them within touching distance at the top of the table, as you can see there now. 3 points separate the top 3 teams, but with the Beaumont Masters effectively out of it, having played all of their games and exhausted all of their options, it's down to Stepney. If the Tigers slip up and get anything apart from a draw or a win, then Stepney have the opportunity to win the division. Bromley are down, as we can see, and they will be replaced by our guests on our right, the Weavers Vets. There are the remaining quarter-final results, as we saw from last Thursday. This week, here we go. The Bromley Legends take on Stepney. In a must-win game for Stepney. All they can do is win the game and see what happens between London Tigers and St Catherine's Vets. Sire and Abahani Vets play out the game. And just very quickly, Rash, can St Catherine's upset the Tigers?
There's a possibility, because I like St Catherine's. I've seen them pull out some results during the season. Unpredictable. On the day, they can. As I said, in the Premiership, there's no easy games. And there's been some topsy-turvy results. So the possibility is there. They've got nothing to play for, nothing to lose, so obviously they'll be playing with that, with the confidence. Tigers, knowing they have to win, may put a bit of pressure, but because of the experience they have, they should see the result. But it's one of those games, it's on the day, again, who turns up, you have key players missing, or injury, etc., and who performs or errors made one mistake and the pressure's on.
Absolutely. It's a good game to watch this Thursday if you're there, as are the other two games that will be taking place this Thursday. It's the Challenge Cup semi-final for the Veterans League now, and the four teams competing are the Elite Vets, who now have the opportunity to take on the Riverside Vets, and London Tigers Vets versus the Beaumont Masters, both B teams facing each other in the semi-finals there. Confident, Rash?
Well, actually, to be honest, we've got this little rivalry. We always meet them in the quarterfinals, semi-final. I'm
Yes.
actually getting tired of them. Even on Sunday, we saw them. Wherever we go, we find them in semi-finals and quarterfinals. So it's an interesting match. So it's, again, on the day. Both teams, obviously, B-team players. We'll just see what happens.
You're not there now, but you will have knowledge of some of those teams in the semi-final. I'm going to ask you, Marco, who do you fancy making it to the final? Probably hard to predict a winner, but who do you fancy making the final?
They're all good.
Yeah.
Anyone can pull up a good results, basically. Even Elite, Tigers, you got favourites there, Beaumont. It's anybody's, actually. It's difficult one to call.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what about for you, Shirajul?
Well, Tigers, I know we really, we thrashed them 5-0, but Tiger B, I know, they're good players, and I fancy Tiger B.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a call for Tigers B.
It's because some of those players, they know each other. There's support there from Camden Town.
Okay, well, there it is. I mean, I don't know what to say. I will say well done to Elite for making it and getting yourselves to a semi-final. Now you've got there, you can taste it. And sometimes the worst game to lose is a semi-final more than a final, because when you get that close, sometimes it hurts a little bit more when you know you could have made it. So with nothing to lose, the Elite Vets are up against Riverside, who are second division champions. London Tigers, Beaumont Masters, another cracking game to go along with a key Premier Division game taking place this Thursday. It's all happening at Mabley Green. Just while we're on the subject of the Vets, Rash, we can talk very quickly about VL7, Veterans Summer League, coming up.
Yes, obviously the email has been sent out. We're looking provisionally to start either second or third week of May. We'll confirm that hopefully by next week. So all the current teams need to confirm the status. If there's any new teams, Vets team that want to participate, they need to contact us, and we'll try and obviously speak to them and get them involved. It's a growing competition. It's very passionate, and it's thriving. So if there are other Vets teams that want to take part or participate, please get in touch with someone from the ILFL and we'll take it from there. Absolutely.
Looking forward to it. And remember, this is the time of the year when the weather gets warmer. Come and play football on a Thursday night, Mabley Green. It's good fun, as you say, and it's growing. And a growing competition, I have to say. Just listen, Shirajul, Muki, thank you very much for coming in this evening. Worthy winners of your division, because it was never in doubt. Like I said, we've had people here on this stage singing your praises all the way through and putting you down as favourites. So you haven't disappointed in making it. Good luck with your Premier Division, and if you're close to winning it, I will be calling you to come on this show because you predicted it. Thanks again for coming in this evening. We're going to take another quick break, but when we're going to come back, we're going to talk about the Challenge Cup semi-finals that took place yesterday. The four teams that were taking part: Walthamstow Red Star, Redcoat, Crusaders and Arsenal. And also the UK Bangladeshi Football Championships took place in Birmingham, and the weather was good to us. We're going to talk about that and a lot more in the next section of the ILFL Soccer Night Show. We'll be back.